Alright, we are on the draw with Rug Delver. This hand isn't fantastic, but I do think it's a keep. We have Mana Leak, Vapor Snag. Maybe it's not a keep. I'm gonna mulligan. This hand doesn't seem great. If Mana Leak doesn't line up, we're in huge trouble. And we're on the draw, so we're not countering their 2-drop. We can't reliably accelerate out of Mandrills without wasting this Traverse, basically, on a 4th land that we probably don't even want. This hand's quite bad too. I'm at least somewhat tempted to keep it because we have Scry and Bobble, but I'd rather go to 5. It seems safer. This hand is probably better than the hand we started off with. So I'm going to keep it. I'd keep it even if our 7 was better than this. This is a pretty good 5. We have 2 lands, 2 threats, and interaction. That's actually really good for a 5. Plus we got the Scry, which put a Dismember on top of our deck. We're just waiting on our opponent. They started off on a Marsh Flats. Sure. That's not something you see that often. Hallowed Fountain Serum Visions. Ooh, maybe the Marsh Flats is just there to screw with us? Unless they're playing Esper. I think it's probably more likely that they're playing Esper than they're just bluffing with Marsh Flats for when they play it, don't have anything to do on turn 1, and then they get to crack it on their end step. Here's a Swamp. Ooh, and a Bob. That's really good for us. So they're playing a tap-out-ish Esper deck. We don't need double blue, so we can probably get away with Steam Vent's Forest here. It's pretty likely that our opponent will have Path to Exiles, so maybe we just get a non-basic with this Misty anyways. Goif's a 4-5. Shoal is basically going to be useless, but pretty soon we're going to be slamming Hooting Mandrills, so I'm not that sad. Life total or basics? What are the chances they have 4 paths? Pretty sure we just get a basic forest here. Then again, hardcasting Disrupting Shoal could be very real, but if they path, we can do that pretty easily. Let's just get this. I'm going to conserve my life total a little bit. The fact that they had a Dark Confidant means they're probably playing to the board at least a little bit. Plus, these decks do kill you sooner or later. Fatal Push takes out Goif. Ooh. Let's play Bobble. I think we want to look at their top card. If it's a Path to Exile, I'm going to be pretty sad. So hopefully they just don't have the path. That's basically what we're going with here. The artifact is pretty good for our graveyard. On the other hand, Lightning Bolt is a thing. I think we're going to get rid of everything that is not Mishra's Bauble here. I didn't engage Delve. Engage Delve. That is neat. We're going to retain at least some amount of priority, so that once we draw off of Bauble, they had the path. That makes me very sad. Well, what are you going to do? 2 basics out of the deck. Oh, that's just mean. That is not nice, universe. That is not nice at all. We're going to untap. And this Mandrills we can't cast. Cruel, cruel world. I tell you. That's okay. If they animate this Tar Pit, we probably dismember it. It's notable that Esper decks sometimes run Delve Fatties, so we might want to save the dismember for that inevitability. I guess it's not an inevitability. This could also be Esper Goryo's Vengeance. Ooh, Tide Hollow Sculler. They probably take our Dismember, because if we don't, we just dismember the Sculler. And we probably want to end up dismembering the Sculler if they take something that isn't Dismember. We're going to leave our hand right at the top here so we know what information the opponent has. This game certainly is not going well. They took the removal spell, which is pretty typical. Yup. Now I would like to draw a Lightning Bolt or something for this Sculler so we could deal with their threats. Thought Scour is a chance. It isn't fantastic because if we don't hit a land, we can't mandrills and denial. We hit another scour, which I do think we probably play. We may as well get a velocity of cards going. Ooh, we ended up hitting a land. I think we're going to play that. We're not going to bother delving it, though. Our opponent knows the exact contents of our hand, but that's okay. I think we delve everything but these two. They're definitely the rarest card types in our deck. Tarfire being a pseudo bolt makes me even happier to have it. We're going to get rid of this. It's pretty easy for me to remember that they know the counter spells in our hand. Them having an active Bob on the other hand concerns me quite greatly. Here's the path. We're going to denial it, and there's probably another path. We're definitely shocking here. While I don't like going to 13 against a couple of 2/2s, and they're probably going to end up removing this mandrills one way or another, I do think we should do it. I'm basically expecting this path to get countered and then a second path to materialize. So we're oh, it's a Spell Queller. That's even better. This is a very cool Esper deck. Look at these little 2-power knuckleheads. Yup. Let's get a red source. We are facing quite the clock. Yup. I don't even know if I want to be casting Dismember now. And they're going to be creeping tar pitting soon. Are they playing Delver too? This is like this is basically a tempo deck. Sort of fish style. So, we bolt Sculler. We get the Dismember. We dismember Bob. We go to 5. And they have a Queller and tar pit. Then we're dead. Other options. We bolt who knows what. I think we pass for now. It's unfortunate that Denial is under Queller because Denial is going to do a lot of nothing. It's pretty unfortunate that we basically have to let this Bob take the game away. I'm pretty sure we just lost. I don't think we can handle all of this. There's a lot that our opponent is asking us to do to not lose. Tar Pit shows up. Okay. We bolt Tar Pit. And then we take 6, and then we're dead the next turn. We bolt Sculler, dismember Tar Pit, go down to 1, and then we're dead on our next turn. We bolt Confidant. We basically lose. We bolt Queller. We basically lose. I think we're basically just out of this game. And our opponent has 4 cards. We're going to scoop. There's not too much value added in scooping there, but I'm almost positive that we are dead. Just because of how many creatures they had and how effectively they were beating us down. Pretty sure that was a game we lost. I'm almost positive that was a game we lost. So I don't really hate scooping. And I just want to minimize the amount of information they get. Even though it's pretty obvious we have Lightning Bolt in our deck. Still. I like these cards so far, just starting my sideboarding while I finish up talking about that game. Huntmaster is great in these kinds of tempo and mid-range mirrors. Pyroclasm seems pretty good against their deck. Anger would be probably a little bit better because of Queller, but that's okay. Blood Moon seems great. Enchantment Hate? How likely are they to be playing Rest in Peace? We didn't actually see any graveyard interaction out of them. I'm going to board this in. Artifact Hate I'm a little less interested in. I do want Spell Snare. Colorless cards I don't expect to see. At basically its worst, Explosives is another out to Rest in Peace. And it can take out a lot of the stuff they had. Maybe that's not important. Oh, they have Tidehollow Sculler in their deck. Ancient Grudge can remove Tidehollow Sculler. This is relevant. Ancient Grudge is less likely than normal to be a dead card, which doesn't mean we should definitely board it in. However, That basically lets us hedge against the possibility that they don't have any good artifacts that they're boarding in. What artifacts could they be boarding in? Esper Queller. Let's see what we can find. Is this a modern deck? That's a standard deck. That doesn't help us. Okay, doesn't look like there's anything helpful that Google can find us. We have just under a minute. Are they even remotely likely to board in any artifacts? I doubt we're going to see any spell skites. I don't think it's likely. And I don't want this just as another out to Tide Hollow Sculler. I think I'd rather have EE. EE's not even that good here, I don't think. I don't want any of these, I don't believe. We're going to board out Vapor Snag because we didn't see any fatties. I'll keep Dismember. Do I want Disrupting Shoal? That's an interesting one. We have 20 seconds. Oh, geez. I probably did a bad thing. Let's board out some of these Thought Scours because we're looking at interacting. We'll take out a Mandrills. Oh, geez. I messed up severely. We're going to have 2 extra cards in our deck. That's okay. I mean, it's not great. This is a keep. We're going to get a Stomping Ground, Traverse for an Island. Turn 2 will either be a Goyf or Delver plus Tarfire, which seems pretty good. I wonder what we should have cut. I don't like cutting Traverse, although it did cross my mind. In the mid-rangey matchups, I think we really want to keep our Traverses. It's quite good. I guess you could board them out to hedge against Graveyard Hate. Maybe we take out a second Mandrills. That still leaves us one more card. We want all the Bolt effects. I really don't know. They're starting off on a Serum Visions. I might just slam Goyf on too. It's unfortunate that we can't double Delver. That actually makes me kind of want to play a Delver. But Goyf has the same problem in that we can't double Goyf, so we may as well slam the better threat. So we're starting off with the Tarmogoyf. Sooner or later, that denial is going to be very good. We're probably firing the Meddling Mage, and I doubt they're going to name Tarfire, so that's nice. This is definitely an... Is it Esper Taxes? What did they name? They named Stubborn Denial. That's actually a very good choice. Oh, we can shock too. So we're going to shock and play Goyf, or shock and play 2 Delvers. I'm honestly more excited to slam 2 Delvers. Because next turn, if they start removing things, we can Goyf with Denial up. So we're going to Tarfire this. That graveyard's going to be very big. We shock. Oh yeah. That 5/6 Goyf is so good. I love Tarmogoyf. I hate its price tag, but I love Tarmogoyf. We are going to be very aggressive. And I don't even mind. I think we're just going to go full on aggro here. Although, to be fair, we kind of didn't go full on aggro because we actually interacted with them, but still. This is a very powerful start for our deck. We are not an aggro deck for sure. It's notable that we saw 4 creatures by turn 3, which is probably more than we usually do. Liliana of the Veil. That's actually perfectly fine. What do we do if they tick up? They tick down. I'm going to give up a Delver, because that seems like the right thing to do. That suggests to me that they don't have a bunch of removal in hand. We won't reveal that. We do probably end up playing this Tarmogoyf, though. It is very, very relevant that they could have a Supreme Verdict, so maybe we don't play the Goyf. Let's not play the Goyf. We're going to play the Foothills for Delver Scry. Delver's going to finish off Liliana. Goyf is going to hit them like a truck. Those are our attacks. I don't believe we can get anything else in the graveyard right now. We have Sorcery, Creature, Land, Instant, Tribal. We're about to add Planeswalkers, so get ready for them 6/7s. And I think we just hold up Stubborn Denial. Even if Delver doesn't transform, they are dead on board. We're going to Denial that because it's basically one of their best spells right now. I mean, if they can interact with the Denial, they can. That's good for them, but it's not the end of the world for us. We're still probably better off just going for it. They get a basic island, Snap Push, sure. That's pretty good. They actually might come back from this, which is really cool. Snapcaster is also a very good card. So is Fatal Push. Modern has a lot of really cool stuff. I'm inclined to almost want to fetch here, because I almost care more about this Delver transforming than I do what I draw. So I think we're going to fetch here to maximize the chances of Delver transforming by taking a land out of our deck. What do we got? Huntmaster. That's also a really good draw. We're not going to swing with the Delver because it just trades with Snapcaster Mage. And why do that when we could theoretically have an unblockable creature after? We're going to gain 2, make some bodies. Huntmaster is really good against mid-range decks. Not only because he creates a lot of threats and threatens to do some really good stuff by transforming, does direct damage, can take out some stuff. Huntmaster's good against Liliana. Deceptively good against Liliana. By making bodies, you get a lot of protection out of that. I'm going to sack the Wolf. If they have a Path to Exile, they have it. What are we going to do? Wolf is the most expendable creature we have, so that's what's going to be gotten rid of. This could be an upkeep path. It's Traverse. Traverse is online. Our deck is basically just doing what it does. That's the Path to Exile on the Aberration. That's fine. I'd rather have Traverse than a basic land. I also kind of want this Huntmaster to transform so it can just take out both of these. So I think we're just going to pass the turn. Then again, that's kind of risky because if they have a removal spell in hand, they take out Huntmaster before it transforms, and then we leave them with a Liliana and a Snapcaster Mage on board. However, if we do try to play Goyf, if we attack Liliana, they're going to trade with Snapcaster Mage, so we lose Huntmaster anyways. Playing Goyf basically isn't great either, so I think we're just going to pass here. We have 2 very good threats in hand. Traverse is basically another Huntmaster. I think that's the best threat we have. Why didn't Huntmaster trigger? They upkeep pathed. Oh, they upkeep pathed. Oh, how bad of a decision that was. We should definitely have played our spells. This is a troublesome decision. Goyf is good. I'm going to keep Goyf. I screwed up. I invariably screwed up. That was a very, very, very bad play. Probably one of the worst plays I've ever made, forgetting that that path was on my upkeep. That's all fine. I still don't think we can afford to cast this Goyf now. Well, last turn we very well should have played the Goyf. Now I don't want to play the Goyf because now I really want Huntmaster to transform. Misty means we could have gone Traverse, get Huntmaster, play Huntmaster, but we didn't know that, so I'm not going to beat myself up about that. If they do have a removal spell, we are in trouble. If they don't have a removal spell, we're in a very good spot. Wow. Okay. That's fine. Now we're in a very bad spot because they have a Liliana that's going to be at 3 loyalty. And they have a Bob going at it. Then again, Bob could just kill them. So it's not like we straight up lost. We can pitch Misty to Liliana, which is good. I imagine they don't want to play their second Dark Confidant. That seems pretty bad. They tick up. I imagine they're actually going to discard that Dark Confidant. Yep. Bob in the bin. We untap. We're going to draw. Second Goyf. I'm gonna play both. Supreme Verdict be damned. If we play one, they make us sack it with Liliana. Maybe Confidant kills them. If we play both, I think our chances are just better. So we're basically just going to say, if you have the Supreme Verdict, I lose, I accept it. Both Goyfs are going to go down because the opponent did hit a path, but what are you going to do about that? We no longer have Traverse in our deck. We do have Snapcaster Mage still. That Goyf. The other Goyf can be exiled. Really, I'm hoping to hit a Lightning Bolt. Sure, that's fine. That speeds up their clock, which is very important. They're going to want to path this Goyf before declare block so that we don't block Snapcaster Mage. Oh, they didn't attack? Why? I'm confused. I'm not attacking because I want them to keep their Dark Confidant. My Goyf's going to die anyways. So it's not like Goyf could do anything. So I'm going to pass the turn. I actually think we may as well play this Misty, though. Just cause. There's no downside to it, because they'll just make us discard it. So we may as well just play the Misty Rainforest. We can at least thin our deck, which could be relevant. They might path their Bob. I forgot about pathing Bob. That was a lose-lose scenario. If we swing, they block Goyf with Bob and then path Goyf. If we don't swing, they just path Bob. Bolt is still very live, though. Snapcaster Mage is less live. I'm going to fetch here. They have one card in hand. Let's grab the Breeding Pool, I guess. Blood Moon's going to be a pretty bad top deck. Scalding Tarn is basically a worse one. Well, if we attack Liliana, they don't necessarily have to block. If we attack them, they definitely have to block. So if we attack Liliana, they might allow it, but I don't see that as being a very good thing for us. I think we're just going to go after them. They're going to chump block, or they might just have another removal spell. They've actually gone through quite a few, though. I think. It felt like quite a few. 3 paths and push, snap, push. Do we play this Tarn? They're not going to make us discard it, so I think it's relevant that we hold on to it. On our next turn, when we do draw something relevant, this Scalding Tarn could help us if they have a subsequent Liliana. So I think we may as well hold on to this. They have a 5-turn clock with the Sculler, so that's not bad. We have a lot of turns to draw action. And you know what? I did point out that they drew a lot of removal spells, but we probably drew a lot of threats. There's a Lightning Bolt. I'm pretty sure we go for it, but I think we're actually going to go for it on their upkeep. Just because I don't think this island is going to make a huge difference in their ability to counter this Lightning Bolt. I don't think they have any double blue counters, but they actually might. I'm going to do this now. It's entirely possible they have a double blue counter. They didn't have any counters there, but yeah, we drew 1 Huntmaster. We did draw a Traverse, although we had to discard it. We had a second Traverse that we started the game off on, so that's 3. We had 2 Goyfs, 2 Delvers. That's essentially 7 threats. That's a pretty good draw for us. So they did draw a lot of removal, but we hit a lot of threats. It's not like we didn't draw well there. We can sideboard properly now, though, so that's something. We just saw a lot more 2s. Confidant, Sculler, Snapcaster Mage. Those are probably... Snap is probably a 4 of. I could see the others being 2 to 3, maybe 4 each. That makes me actually want to keep all my Bolt effects between Sculler and Confidant. think we actually might board out another Mandrills, but I do like my threat density. I am a very big fan of threat density. It's either threats or interaction, though. We're not boarding out these baubles. I don't think that's correct. Knuckleblade is pretty good against Liliana if you play it with haste and then bam, so I think I want to keep that. Knuckleblade's pretty good in general. The fact that they have Path to Exile in addition to Push makes it a little worse, so we actually might board out this before the first Mandrills, or rather before the second Mandrills gets taken out. I kind of want to take out a Denial. We saw them name Denial with Meddling Mage, so we know that they're gunning for it. Then again, that just means that it's really good, and it is really good. I think we keep that. Maybe a Mana Leak. We didn't see any expensive spells out of them. Let's take one Mana Leak out. I could see Cutting Dismember. We didn't see any fatties. Maybe that's what we want to do. Maybe one of the Pyroclasms. We saw so many little guys, though. Then again, it doesn't take out Queller. Let's try that. What are we going to call this deck? Whew. Well, we have a turn 3 Blood Moon here, so we're going to keep. Turn 1 Visions, turn 2 Interact with Dark Confidant, turn 3 Blood Moon if they don't take it away already. So that seems pretty good. Oh, we can't get a basic island though. We're still going to get a Steam Vents and Visions. Actually, should I get a Breeding Pool? Nah, Steam Vents. I'd rather have double red than triple green. That's a basic island. Do I want to draw it? We're probably going to end up playing it next turn anyway. Oh, no. We draw the island naturally, and then we don't even have to hint that a Blood Moon is coming. We could play Stomping Ground next turn and just slow roll our basics. Rest in peace. I mean, that hurts. That obviously hurts. Does it hurt enough? That's the question. If we play Stomping Ground, we have Bolt up. That is if we shock. Our life total probably isn't going to be very relevant if we play Blood Moon on curve. So I think shocking is fine. And we have 3 Lightning Bolts to mess with their creatures. So I'm pretty okay with it. Creeping Tar Pit, that's great. Hopefully they don't have a Mana Leak of sorts. Do we just bolt them? Nah. I'd rather hold on to those. Here is a Denial. They can't quell it. I think we definitely go for Blood Moon now because we know that they have Spell Queller, and we don't know if they have other ones. Counterspells, that is. I think we're just going to go for the basic Forest instead of the Island. That way, if they do have the counter, they're slightly less likely to use it, I think. Counter Squall, wow. So we got wrecked. Not really. I still think going for the Blood Moon there was a good idea, but that was pretty good on their part. That was pretty dang good. They could Tar Pit us. They're going for Liliana. We probably just double bolt it. They're going to be taking up... Do we discard a Lightning Bolt? I think we actually discard Snapcaster Mage. I think I'd rather have a Lightning Bolt than it. Spell Snare is pretty good. Let's play the island. Bolt, you, red, done. Redirect, bolt, you, red, done. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Redirect. End step. Hopefully these counters line up very well. That counter squall was actually a beating. I do like going for it there. Here's a Tar Pit, so at least they're tapping out. We don't have Lightning Bolt up, unfortunately, so we're going to get hit for 3. Yep. What do we got? Mandrills. I mean, Goyf is technically worse here. Goyf is technically worse. However, Mandrills is not good at all. Here's a Tar Pit activation. I believe we're just going to use the last bolt. We're going to let it attack first. It means they have fewer things they can cast to save it. They could have another Counter Squall, but we could actually get that. Alright, so neither of us has a clock, which does favor the control player. Scalding Tarn is probably going to make our mana pretty good. I think that's worth playing because sooner or later we do want to play this Mandrills. Snapcaster Mage is a threat. I actually just want to Spell Snare that. I don't want our opponent having pressure. I really want to hold up Spell Snare because it lets us interact with Bob and friends, but I don't want them to have that. That's going to resolve. We can't stop it. Good night, sweet prince, Mr. Mandrills. You will be missed. We're going to grab a Breeding Pool, I think, just to get more green. I think that might be slightly better. Plus, they could always path us, get us more basics. Speak of the devil, he shall appear, yada yada yada. Do we play this? If we play this and top deck Mandrills... No, it's not relevant. We can't draw Mandrills and a land. We would need to have another land for that to be relevant, playing the island on this turn. We're basically just both making land drops. Oh, another denial is not good for us. Huntmaster... 2 denials could be relevant, but it's pretty unlikely. I still don't think we play the island. Tide Hollow Sculler just takes a denial, which really isn't that bad for us, but it is a 5-turn clock, and we have actual nothing going on. Blood Moon actually gets a lot worse now that they have their basics. Basic Mountain. Now we're going to play a land. We may as well. We're obviously going to play the one they know about. It's slightly better. Path is going to be very good against us now. It's straight up Exile. This game clearly isn't shaping up how we wanted. A lot of black-blue decks, I guess I should say blue-black decks, are running Counter Squall these days. Maybe I should have thought of that more. I don't know. They know about the mountain. We're on a... No, that's a 2-turn clock. Bolt. They both have denials under them. Denial doesn't really help us. We're still going to take it back, though, because that's our denial. And they have no business having our denial. Plus, I just want to take out a Sculler. Now we really have to consider Counter Squall, because it could actually kill us. We're at 7 life. This is a 4-turn clock. What is Tide Hollow Sculler? Oh, it's like the Ferryman. Okay, that makes sense. And it's actually, no, that's not Theros. That's Modern Masters. And since it's an artifact, it's definitely not Theros. I think it's actually a legit Esper card from Alara. Not positive, though. Okay. Revelry is actually really good here. Buys us time, which isn't bad. It sure doesn't save us, but it is not bad. Remember how I mentioned last game we drew a lot of threats? Oh, hey, Mandrills. Good to see you. This game we saw a Mandrills and a Snapcaster Mage until now. So we tap everything but a Steam Vents, right? They know our hand to the letter. So it really doesn't matter. Wow, Xmage is lagging. But I still feel like I should just leave the Steam Vents up. Hardcast Mandrills, that's what I'm talking about. Can we come back? Do they actually just have 2 paths? Or Path and Counter Squall? Path and Counter Squall is going to be really good here. Path and Queller. Yup. That is a 2-turn clock. Mandrills down. We're going to open another client because this one seems like it died. Oh, wait. We came back. We're just waiting on our opponent. Nice. We're pretty dead, though. Real talk. We are pretty dead. Mandrill's down. We basically want to hit a Huntmaster of the Fells. At least it's our turn. Mandrill's 2.0. Unfortunately, cannot block. Definitely would have preferred a Huntmaster. Probably could have lived with a Savage Knuckleblade, because I think that actually might have clocked them fast enough. We play it with haste. They take 4, they go to 9. And then we just have to hit them twice, growing it once. They have a 3-turn clock. We have a 4-turn clock. Here's a Bob. That's actually kind of relevant. They probably block with Bob, though. Oh, we have to hang back to block Bob. Snapcaster Mage doesn't do much under the Rest in Peace, but it can at least block Dark Confidant. So I think we're just going to swing here. It's pretty unlikely that Dark Confidant does a decent amount of damage to them without us really suffering for it. I'm going to Snapcaster Mage on their upkeep, I think, before they draw cards. I don't want them to draw something that could, say, Spell Queller to deal with our Snapcaster Mage. They have a Serum Visions that they're probably using right now. We can counter that. How good is that? I'm a fan of late game Serum Visions. I'm going to do it. There's a pretty good chance we're dead regardlessly, but we're going to go for it. Second Serum Visions. Wow. That is card selection. Actually, I wonder, if we knew about the second Serum Visions, do we still counter the first? Because we know that they're looking at a bunch of cards. So maybe we just hope to be able to counter the one that matters. I'm not positive why they're swinging with Bob. Still gonna block, though, because I don't want to die. We're gonna go to 1. What can we draw? Knuckleblade. Come on, Knuckleblade. Or Huntmaster. Bobble. Bobble can get us a Lightning Bolt. We're going to cast it. Bobble can draw us a Bolt if we sack it in time. So we're going to sack it right now. Look at our top card, because I want to know. What do we got? Are we going to live? We're not going to live, guys. We're not going to live. We're still going to swing. Because Mandrills does nothing sitting back, so we're definitely attacking. Pyroclasm. That's alright. It's kind of ironic that I made sure to note that Pyroclasm does not deal with Spell Queller, and that Anger of the Gods could theoretically be better for us in this matchup, and then we don't end up being able to cast either because they're sorceries and we're on our opponent's turn. GG's opponent. That was some fun magic. Counter Squalling Blood Moon was really important for them. I'm pretty sure if we had Blood Moon resolved, that game would have easily been ours. Of course, they did a very good job of taking out our Blood Moon, so props to them for that. Hopefully you all enjoyed this video. Thank you all for watching. I hope to see you in the next one.